At 6 o'clock, we're going to go ahead and get our meeting started. Before we get going, I just want to remind everybody that this meeting is being recorded, and there's a sign-up sheet over on this little table for just people that are in attendance in our meeting, and also to speak during citizen participation. Okay, once that's taken care of, let's go ahead and call our meeting to order.
Chris Bell. I don't think he has joined yet. Roger Bridgman.
Yes.
Adam Cornell.
Present.
Caitlin Mace. Yes. Tammy Palmer.
Yes.
Sherry Schutte.
Here.
Jennifer Moreland.
Yes.
6 present, 1 absent.
Next up, you have an agenda in front of you, and we need an approval and adoption of the agenda, please. Second.
Motion by Caitlin, seconded by Tammy to approve and adopt the agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next up, we are going to go through our board norms for the month of August.
Chris Bell is currently unavailable.
We're going to review board norms number 3 and 4. We will be fully present at the meeting by becoming familiar with materials before we arrive and by being attentive to behaviors which affect physical and mental engagement. And we will invite and welcome the contribution of every member and listen to each other. Okay, let's move on with the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to go ahead and move into our tax rate hearing. There are a couple of different items in your packet. Dr. Davidson, do you want to give us a little bit of some information, please?
Yeah. So at the tax rate hearing, we have a process where we work with the Missouri auditor and our county assessors, and we receive revenues from Gasconade County and Crawford County. So this year, working through that process, just as in a comparison, last year our assessed evaluation was $153 million, and this year it's $159 million, which is a good growth there, $6.2 million. When we look at setting the rate, 275 is appropriate for our tax levy, which it has been for several years, and then to meet our debt service, we're at 56 cents. So we're looking at a total of $3.31, which it has been for several years now. Looking at that increase in assessed evaluation, it'll generate about $171,000 in new money for us this year. So pretty historical with years past for the tax levy. So we have 3 different motions there, unless anyone has questions. But to set the tax levy at $2.75, the debt service at 56 cents, making a total of $3.31.
Does anybody have questions about that? I know, I believe as long as I've been on the board, these amounts have not changed. So, any questions? Any motions for the first item?
I move that, whatever the motion is says.
275 incidental and 56 cents for debt services?
Second.
Motion by Sherry Schutte, seconded by Caitlin Mace, that the tax rates for the Crawford County R2 School District be established as follows. Incidental Fund, Fund 10 at $2.75, and Debt Services, Fund 30 is 56 cents. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
The next item is basically the motion will be for the superintendent to be authorized to make transfers each month from the incidental fund to the teacher's fund. That's a pretty standard practice in our district. So if there's no other questions,
Roger Bridgman, seconded by Tammy Palmer, that the superintendent be authorized to transfer each month an amount from the incidental fund to the teacher's fund necessary to meet the obligations of the teacher fund. The superintendent is also authorized to make internal transfers within the 2025-26 budget to maintain positive account balances in each budget account. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Okay, and the last motion is a little bit more in-depth. Would you want to speak on any of that?
And we have a representative from LJ Hart, Mr. Wickman here. But the last is approving a resolution authorizing a prepayment of $370,000 principal amount of general obligation funding bond from the 2017 series. Later in the meeting, or in our open meeting, he'll present a little more on that to get some background. But this would, if you would approve this, would suffice with that 2017 bonding capacity. But do you have anything to add, or if anyone has any questions, I'll let you ask Mr. Wickman more specifically.
Save $23,600 of interest expense and
Mhm.
allows you to keep that levy at 56 cents.
So essentially, we're in a good position to be able to do this, so we're in a healthy financial state.
If there's no questions, we do need a motion.
Motion by Caitlin Mace, seconded by Adam Carnell, to approve the resolution authorizing prepayment of $370,000, principal amount of general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2017. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Well, that concludes the tax rate hearing. Let's move into board recognition.
All right, we do have one this month. This came to us from the Missouri School Board Association. It says Crawford County R2 School District now has a certified safety specialist. Jay Coleman of the Crawford County R2 School District has received certification as a school safety specialist. He attended the June 16th through the 18th School Safety Academy in Branson, Missouri, hosted by the Missouri School Boards Association Center for Education Safety. The 3-day academy is designed to train and certify school safety coordinators in comprehensive school safety planning and development. School safety personnel from multiple school systems throughout the state attended the academy at no cost to local school districts. It's essential that students, teachers, and staff are in a safe learning environment. The Center for Education Safety's Chief Operating Officer, John McDonald, said schools must have processes and protocols in place and have trained staff to respond accordingly to ensure our students can focus on learning, as he added. Topics at the School Safety Academy included support systems for addressing behaviors, legal aspects of school safety, trauma-informed schools and mental health resources, intervention and de-escalation strategies, emergency preparedness and plan development, behavioral risk and threat assessments, cybersecurity, fundamentals, and more. The sad thing is that we have to worry about these things in our society right now and in our schools. But we are very honored that you took those 3 days and spent some of your lifetime there. You won't get that back, but thank you so much for doing what you do for our district. And we'd like to present you from the board a certificate for your work and what you do in our district.
So everybody knows I wasn't the only one up there learning stuff that week.
Yeah. And Officer Coleman at the conference there as well. Oh, you got to smile real big.
Looks like I just said.
All right, 1, 2, 3. All right.
Cool, like no one takes off like this.
I should
You have to
have, sorry.
designate somebody.
I'll do better. I'll do better. Don't ask me to.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thanks for your service.
Okay, let's move into citizen participation. 30 minutes are allotted for citizens, to give citizens time to speak. This meeting is a business meeting of the Board of Education held in public. 30 minutes will be allotted to residents of the school district and staff to give the board the opportunity to listen to citizens. Remarks will be limited to 3 minutes and to 1 appearance, thus allowing for maximum number of participants in the allotted time in which citizens are to speak to issues. The board will not respond to comments at this time, but you will receive a response to any questions from the district superintendent and/or a member of the board within a reasonable amount of time after this meeting. Additionally, members of our community may contact individual board members to engage in dialogue about school matters. During this public comment period, we ask that speakers refrain from using profanity, and speakers who violate this rule may be asked to leave. We do have one signed up tonight, Ms. Shayla Ferris. You can stand where you are. Yeah, our podium's kind of pushed to the side right now. So if you just want to stand where you are, and you have 3 minutes.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Shayla Ferris. I'm from Cuba. My daughter started kindergarten this year. I know, right? So my concern that I'm bringing forward today is parent pickup. I know I personally probably won't even be picking her up 90% of the time because my husband teaches here. On the first day of school, when I came to parent pickup, my concerns were security of like my child, and my biggest concern is that this is the only form of this is my child. So it has no parent information, no child information, nothing saying Shayla is the parent, nothing saying that this is the car she's getting picked up in, or anything to link me to my child. And also the fact that I can literally go print this at my house. I can go to a UPS store, I can go to a printing store, they'll print it for like $2. So if anybody leaves this in their windshield at a store or anything like that and they say Carter Ferris, you know, we have predators in the area, and I know that's a concern. I mean, I work in Rolla, and Rolla is like a hub in Missouri for predators. So that is my concern, that this doesn't link me to my child. This doesn't link anybody to my child other than a piece of paper that I can buy at Walmart, take in, and pay $1.50 with her name printed on it, and it can show up at Cuba school and say, Carter Ferris, or your parent or whoever is here to pick you up. So I just, as a parent, it's 1 in a million, I understand that. However, it's a concern for me, and I'm sure there's other people who are concerned about it. And my suggestion is that we invest in a program. There are programs out there that allow us to have that security for our child. I obviously don't know the cost of those, but I think that there is no limit at cost for the safety of our child. And I just want to know that coming to school every day, leaving my child there, knowing that she is going to come home with a family member that is appropriate, I guess I could say, or safe. So, I mean, I have lots of family members that I think are safe, but not everybody has that luxury, and it could be, you know, I'm okay with Carter's uncle picking her up, but not everybody has that luxury to have that. And someone could come up and say, Carter, your mom is sick, she wanted me to come get you today. And Carter would probably say, oh, okay, my mom's sick, I'm gonna get in the car. So that's my concern. And I'm not saying the staff are not doing their job. I'm just saying I don't think we're fully equipped for what we're put it in front of us. So respectfully, those are my concerns, and I hope that you guys consider that and we can find a solution for better safety for our kids.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is a presentation by Corey Buxton-Mueller for Navigate Building Solutions.
I realized I did this.
Here we go.
We don't have to share anymore, Tammy. We were all prepared to share.
He's not online.
That was 2 minutes still. So, go on, I guess. Sorry. Go ahead.
You guys ready?
We're ready.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me come back. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have had time to look at the stuff we've done in the past. Today we want to talk about potential next steps and how they may affect your district and moving forward. Early in that packet, just a quick introduction. If you don't remember my role and who I am and what I do, Corey with Navigate Building Solutions. I'm the K-12 market leader for our company. We work with a little over 30 districts in the state of Missouri right now, and many of those districts we're assisting to go into the April 2026 with the potential bond issues. And so that's what we're here to talk to you about. What is the path to move forward to look at those potential bond issues, and what is your campaigning process? A lot of the exercises you guys have done early with us in this spring to develop the data and the information will give you a great head start. Just in the agenda, we're going to talk about the bond and levies, the program and master planning, which we've got a great leg up on with you guys already. What gets presented at the Board of Education level? What do we do at the Board of Education level? What documentation would you need to work through and we can help generate to present to your public? And then the campaign process. And I intentionally put the campaign process down at the bottom because the campaign process is, I think, where everybody tries to focus on early on. And truthfully, it is a small piece of a bigger thing you need to work on. That campaign process is extremely important, but you can't do it now. You do it when it's appropriate. It's a small piece later on. And then we'll go through some Q&As. So the next slide, I actually talk about starting to generate what was needed to begin the campaign process. The first part of that is what we call the programming and master planning, and those are the books. Sorry, you guys don't have where I'm at here. These books here, when we're talking about the programming and master planning, these books we've already done with your district. I think we generated 3 books that walk through the list of projects from the interior painting to the parking lot lighting to demolishing the old building across the ball fields over there, even the interior maintenance building here, and put together a rough kind of plan and budget and potential schedule within those books that you can use to apply to these jobs. But that's a big step, making sure you guys have a plan that you're comfortable with the budget, comfortable with the number, that when you go to the public you can stand behind it and know the number you're presenting aligns with the projects. The next step there is what we call a RACI chart. It's a roles and responsibilities chart, essentially. Going through, there's a lot of people who will be involved here. There'll be administration, there'll be Board of Education, there'll be third parties like us, there will be financial partners, and just going through and understanding what is everybody's role, developing that chart to make sure that we're not duplicating efforts, and to also make sure we're not dropping stuff and missing stuff until the last minute. So that's a big part of it, is actually really the structure of how we're going to handle this. And then when you get into your financial partners, the decisions of understanding, at the bottom of that slide we talk about who is your financial partner. And it looks like, I believe LG Hart is your guys' financial partner, but it's a great start understanding who that is, and they'll work with you to develop if it's a tax and no tax, what's the dollar amount, what applies to it. This slide also talks about the potential, if you look at other items, for sources of finances. If you're looking at grants, looking at levies, lease purchases, just looking at the whole understanding of what you've got in front of you there. And then not only your bond council, but then understanding, are you going to do local investments, are you going to do a statewide investment company? Understanding how those investments will play into your financial picture and play into your budget and play into your overall schedule. Next, this one I put on here because it's a word you probably all heard, is arbitrage. It's a big scary word for a lot of districts. But one benefit I think that you guys have is arbitrage doesn't come into play unless you're at $15 million or higher. And I don't believe you guys are going up to $15 million, but I wanted to spend just a minute to touch on that, so you guys, if you hear that and it's a concern from other board members or conferences you go to, let it be known that shouldn't be a concern of you guys since you're under the $15 million limit. And then when we're going through this process of building a plan, generating the budget, engaging key stakeholders. So a major part of getting these bond processes approved, or bond referendums approved, is the community engagement. Get everybody involved and stay behind it. Unfortunately, we did have a school district this past summer that didn't pass a bond issue, and came to find out they had teachers advocating against it, which caused a major problem. So more engagement with not just the students, the staff, but then the local community, and figure out ways to work with that staff to create advocates out of everybody. Let their voice be heard. Let them know that what they're saying is what you're taking into account, and trying to apply it to the projects as much as you can. Obviously, you can't do everything everybody wants, but let them know that they have a voice and they're being heard. And we do have a process to walk through that. Meeting with, I've met with the facilities, the maintenance director here, walked through him, heard his voice, heard his potential options for the mechanical system, options for the sanitary system coming out of the building, but just walking through those and making sure everybody's been heard and we get the whole picture. So there is no naysayers out there, that they truly believe and understand the path you guys are marching forward is the path that's good for everyone. If there are projects that require a design team, there probably will be a couple projects here that require a design team. We'll walk through that process with you guys of doing an RFQ, putting it on the streets, bringing them in, helping with the interviews, doing the selection, negotiating a contract early on if they're doing just pre-referendum services or if they're actually doing the design services. We can walk through that process with you guys and assist, be a major player for you there. That's a part of the task order we presented, or will be presented later. But I will say that there is no, we've worked with all the design teams throughout the state of Missouri. We have pros and cons of each of them, but we don't have preferences. So we can give you references on each of them, experiences in each of them. We're willing to work with any and all of them. So if there is some local ones that need to be a part of it too, we can work with that as well. The documentation. So I'm going to walk through a little bit of documentation here and understand. I use kind of a reference or experience to Union School District. Their bond issue we just passed in April, some of the documentation we helped generate there. When you present documentation, the books that we have are a great start. There's going to be some projects that you want to highlight, you want to point out to the public, that you want to feel some, what we're going to call feel-good pictures. Things that just talk about maybe the new secure entrance at the high school and just a, not fully designed, not fully vetted out, but just a quick rough layout. Let everybody know it's not completed, but this is what we're thinking. Or maybe the sports lighting may be big to the community, so really highlight some of those things. Find out what's truly important to your community and make sure they realize that that's in the process. And then working with you guys to walk through ballot language. I know your bond council will be a major part of that too, but understanding when does that ballot language need to be submitted. We like to add a little bit of touches to it because there is keywords, phrases there, and to be honest with you, a lot of people have not realized, and I'm not sure why, ballot language, obviously it can't be color, but if you can capitalize, it can be bolded. So if you want to draw attention to something within that paragraph, you can capitalize in bold letters and make it stand out. So when you go into that ballot box, certain lines may stand out a little more than others. Not to say you're trying to hide anything, but draw their attention to what's important, make sure they don't miss it. And then the next few sheets are really just talking about the documentation. So with the Union School District, they were wanting to do an early childhood center. We were not paying a design team to go through and design an early childhood center that may not pass a vote. But we did very high level items. You'll see here, there's probably 2 or 3 pages on the early childhood center. It's a rough floor plan, and I can tell you right now, it's not the same floor plan that's being designed today. It's been modified, so this was just very high level to let them know early on. A site plan, and then there is a Buford, if you're familiar with Buford Elementary. The big problem at Buford is the rainwater. The parking lot was like 4 or 5 feet higher than the actual building itself. So it's just to draw attention that we're addressing that issue to the community. We don't have the solution yet. It hasn't been designed, but it is on the plan, and we do have a budget set for it. And then they also added a storm shelter at Central Elementary. It's the last one there. You get into what we call the total program budget. This is where there'll be some similarities drawn more to your project. Since the project types are different, we will have a column per project. So there may be a parking lot column for the parking lot lights. There may be some for the restrooms. Based on the packages, the high school secure entrance may be a package. Based on those packages, walk through and create budgets that we'll use to track. These are where, when we get into design and we start redefining or refining the designs and updating our estimates, we'll start tracking the changes here. Because the numbers are going to change. You may expand the high school entrance when you do it, not outwards, but inwards when you do the security. Or you may, the paving, we decide to redo the paving, may want to add more paving to it. Or we do some more investigation on these fuel tanks and realize there's a fuel tank that nobody knew was there. It's an old additional one that we weren't aware of. So we'll create the allowances and contingencies to cover those items, but track and adjust as we go through. But we're going to generate this total program budget early on to make sure we have a budget that we're all comfortable with and we're starting with. Last, now that we've gone through and we've kind of generated the documentation, generated the process, we've defined what roles everybody's playing, figured out who the partners are who are going to be a part of everything, then we start the campaign process. So this campaign process, typically we see this start at 1 or 2 times. It could be in like the November timeframe, where you make sure you have the right list of projects with everybody, and you still have time to make adjustments before the December, January ballot language in case there's an uproar in the community they don't like it and you need to change the project list. The second major time we see it kicking off is really like the February, mid-March time. You're going to have an early April vote. So if we start going out with the community engagements sometime in mid-February, speaking with everybody, holding community engagements, bring people to the building, do some tours. Let the community come in and see why are we wanting to change the lights, why we want to update the park house, why we want to redo the park restrooms. Show them some pictures. We'll walk through that, and you don't want to overdo it. You want to do about 2 or 3 good engagements. If you start overdoing it, you kind of water it down and people just quit showing up. And you also don't want to hit flyers on their doors for months because they start ignoring them, and then they get to the point where they're actually upset that this thing's even out there and they don't want to vote for it. So there is a strategy there to do just enough to make sure everybody's aware of it, but to not upset people in the process. And then at the bottom of this slide, it doesn't do any good in a book, but these 3 links down here, I believe this was about a $2,500 investment from Union, where there was a campaign company that came in and did a video. They went through and they interviewed the board president, the superintendent, principals of the buildings, community members, the architect. They interviewed their bond counsel, and they just walked through the process, walked the community through the process. They had some drone footage that they'd like to fly over the ball field, show if you're going to do lights, the parking lots, some interior photos, but there's like a voiceover narrative that's you guys talking, and that's something we do highly recommend. I know $2,500 is not a small amount, but it was a major impact for their community and understand that. And I could share those links with you to just walk through it. It wasn't a long video. I think it was only like 8 to 10 minutes, but then they put it on their social media and they shared it everywhere, and then it kind of, people start having questions, they can go back to it and they can refresh it and they can learn it on their own if they like.
I've shared that link with the board.
Okay. It's a pretty...
It's very well done.
It's simple yet powerful.
Yeah.
My wife had a cameo in that video.
Was that your wife?
Yeah, that was my wife in there. So,
That's
she's
my
available.
Famous. Autograph session.
And then the next 2 slides are really just talking about, these are the type of like trifold handouts we may hand out in some of those community engagements, or some of the visuals items that we'll kind of walk through. And these were just photos taken from the Union High School, and we did a quick walkthrough of their lobby, and really it was just an open house type event. We let everybody know we were going to be there from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and come as you want, and we'll have an open and honest conversation with you. So we had them like that, and then we also had structured ones, but it's really just creating enough engagement so people can come out and see the process. That is how we've seen successful podcasts. And that process is what we're presenting to you tonight, is what we think could be a success for you guys as well.
So I'd like to thank Corey for being here to present. It's kind of a lot of information tonight, but all lays in hands, setting the tax levy, looking at our bond capacity. Mr. Whitman will present what Navigate can do. So it's all coming together in a good place here. We have proposed if the board would approve utilizing this pre-referendum services, and this is what everything Navigate would be able to do, is what Mr. Dixon just went through and provided. So very, very helpful partnership to help educate the community and relay information and just get some visuals out there and really educate individuals on what we'd like to do. So. Anybody have any questions? Or?
All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so there is a motion to go along with some of the information that you just heard, and it's basically to approve the pre-referendum services from Navigate that was just presented. There's also a document in your packet that you can look through as well. So if we don't have questions, we either need a motion or...
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Sherry Schutte, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve the pre-referendum services as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Let's kind of get back in order here and move into consent agenda items. Consent agenda item, there's quite a few items listed under here, anywhere from minutes to calendar to some different reports, summer school report, transportation evaluation. So we need a motion to approve.
Can I, since it was
in the addendum, would you, I mean, I know we heard it, but would you mind talking about AED just since it wasn't
Yes,
in
I don't
there?
mind. So I apologize why the AED grant information wasn't uploaded. But I just got that sent to me at the end of last week. Missouri has a $2 million available through grants that our EMTs here locally sent to me, and we can utilize that. They would allow us to buy some AEDs, and we could put them throughout the district. We currently have 4, but we could utilize several more. The nice thing about these AEDs is they would be the same as what our EMTs in town use, so if they're in here helping, they're familiar with them. But that grant also then will provide batteries and bags to use, so it's not because those are cost and have to be updated. But we'll have a little bit of money with that as well to do a round of those. But the gentleman did say he thinks it is a one-time grant, but do not be conservative on the amount of AEDs we would like or training with it. So per policy, the board has to approve any grants that are applied for. So does anybody have any questions? I'll say.
Motion by Caitlin Mace, seconded by Adam Carnell, that the consent agenda items be approved as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next up, we need to approve the financial statement and action on the August bill. There are a couple of different reports in your packet. By the way, there's, I believe, 2 different check runs. So we do need a motion so we can pay these bills.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve the financial statement and action on the August bills as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 5 yes, 1 absent, 1 abstain.
Okay, moving into administrative reports. Let's start with board and committee reports. Anybody have anything? There is an MSBA regional meeting coming up
That's
on
next Wednesday.
Not next
Oh.
Wednesday, the next one.
September 3rd.
Yes.
Oh, the regional one, yeah.
Yeah. It's in Washington, I believe, this year.
The only thing I haven't heard is unless you've heard exactly where we go.
It is on that form where
Okay.
it's in Washington School District.
But
It's got
is it the high
location in
school?
there. I'll have to go back and look.
Okay. And that's, I spoke with Kelly last night. She's our liaison with MSBA, and we're going to talk about cell phone policy, that bill that went through, homeschool bill that went through, and then also they're going to discuss funding for challenges from state and federal. So just a little bit of information on what they're going to discuss.
Let's move into building principal reports. Let's start in elementary.
Okay. I have an upcoming event, or I should say, have an upcoming event this next Thursday that we're adding. We'll send flyers home with kids tomorrow. It's a welcome back, just on the school playground. We're calling it Popsicles on the Playground. It's really nothing fancy or special. It's just that. It's from 4:30 to 5:30. I know Dr. Davidson and the board, you guys have spoke a lot about community involvement and just wanting parents to know they're welcome on school grounds and just to have them here, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a big to-do. So we do like the carnival in the spring where we ask them to spend their money to buy tickets or wristbands or all those things, or we do like a bingo night. This is literally kind of like a social where they can come in, kids can play on the playground. We've bought a bunch of sidewalk chalk, and everyone that shows up gets popsicles, and we just have them here. So we're excited to start that. Just again, some people aren't enrolled yet or have missed open house, whether it's vacation or something came up, and we kind of noticed that then we have that dead space between open house and then parent-teacher conferences, and a lot can take place in between there. So it's good just to make a connection of put eyes on who your kid is with every day. So we do have that coming up. I'm excited about it. Parent pickup is going well. We're getting better with it. I appreciate the feedback. We always can do better in a lot of areas. And so we were kind of fine-tuning some things. But we did from the
first day, second day, well, really second and third, they were just minutes apart, cut our time in half. So it's always a little hectic on the first day. I'm sure every district around has experienced that, but we're getting there, so.
The novelty of picking up your own kid and then you show them on a bus. Some,
Right?
some do.
Right?
Never had that luxury with my kids. I was
The
always
bus
there.
route thing, they didn't do that?
I didn't drive a bus. They went home in mom's bus.
There you go, there you go, yeah. There you go.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
everything else is good in our world. I'm excited to have the kids back, and they're excited to be back. Their smiling faces is what makes it all worth it. So,
Thanks for the pictures.
you're welcome. And pre-K's doing great. I should have said that. Pre-K's doing amazing. They're so tiny. It just seems so weird to see them in there, but they're doing wonderful. The teachers are doing great. They're getting into a routine. We watch them walk down the little paw prints, and it's amazing just how quick they pick up on routine. So
How many are there?
20. We got 20 of them with a
That's
teacher and a
crazy.
para, but they're happy to be there, and the cuteness helps a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I could look past some of the orneriness with how cute they are. Yes, good things happen in elementary.
Thank you. Mrs. Shoemaker.
Yep, things have gotten off to a smooth start. We're just trying to get into a rhythm and routine with our middle schoolers and just getting all the beginning of the year stuff out of the way with drills and going over handbooks and PBS expectations and all that good stuff. But we're going to wrap all that up this week and then hopefully can kind of get things back into a normal rhythm. So, superstar start.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's move into high school.
Things are going real well at high school. It's been an exciting week being new and getting to know the kids, and have a lot of kids that come up and give me advice on things. Especially on the color shirts they want me to wear. I was like, hey, I'm game. I'll wear them.
There you go.
And, but it's going good, I think, and we've had no real issues. Been in majority of our classrooms already, and the teachers are doing a great job, and especially with our new advisory and implementing that and things. So I think it's going well. Tomorrow morning, if anybody wants to join us at 5:30 in the morning, we'll be on the football field for senior sunrise.
Oh, neat.
So feel free to come out and join us. Next Friday night, we'll have our first pep assembly. I'm trying to really build school spirit and pride, and we'll have Pride Night here, so we'll have a lot of things for that. Trying to build, we're going to let students that will go to the softball game in free to the football game afterwards. Just trying to build that support for all our programs. And so for the first contest of the year. So I think things are going well.
Awesome. Embrace those leadership qualities in those kids.
Yep.
That's all you can do.
Yep.
Okay, let's move into the special education report.
It's wonderful. Everybody's moving to Cuba.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
And several new transfers.
I have some more I can send you.
No, thank you. We're good.
No, thank you.
I didn't say what grade level, I just said send it.
We're full. We're good.
Growth is good.
Yeah.
It is good.
We added, what, 40 new students?
That's awesome.
Wonderful. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yes. Okay. Growth is good. That's what your report is. Thank you. Miss Alice. It's
Yes.
nice to have you tonight.
Thank you.
You have
Glad to
any
be here.
great information for us after 3 days of school?
Not really. Everyone's just getting back in the routine as usual. But it's going good.
No pressure. How's Mr. Klitz doing?
I was gonna ask you, are you
I need to
Dad
step
said,
out for a
Did you suggest a color of shirt?
That's what I just asked you.
Oh.
Blue's a nice color.
Good answer.
Purple's been the favorite one.
Yeah, I did like the purple.
Well, Allison, we're glad to have you.
Yes.
As it gets busier, you'll have several things to report out. So feel free to share what you learned.
Alrighty, thank you.
And also, get out and talk to the kids that you go to school with. I feel like that's really the biggest point of your role, is to bring back things from a student perspective. I feel like we've kind of just gotten reports of what's going on, and it's pretty easy to find out what's going on in our building. So definitely embrace being like the voice between the students and the board.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Assistant Superintendent report.
Sure. I've got a couple of things to add to my report. Our 2 new buses that were purchased in the spring are going to be delivered on Tuesday. So that's very exciting. And then unfortunately, we were notified last week by DESE that we do not qualify for the snack program. And when I inquired as to why we had for the last 2 years and didn't this year, they said that it was an error on their end, that we shouldn't have qualified those other years as well. However, we are working with the Department of Health and Senior Services. They also have a snack program, and so we're working to get that application filled out, and we're hopeful that within the next couple of weeks we can re-implement snack district-wide.
Have you ever heard of a program called Life? What's the app? Life 360?
Yeah.
I think the program is also called Life 360. There was a school district down Greenville, down by Poplar Bluff, used it, and it was free to the school, and they brought in tubs for each teacher that had snacks in it. And it was basically, I think, the same thing that our kids were getting, except for it was through I think it was kind of like a grant, maybe. I don't know, but I think it's called Life 360. I can contact them. I think.
I don't remember what it's called. It might be that same thing.
Yeah.
That's keeps ringing in my head, but I'm like, is that just the app that I'm thinking?
Yeah, I'll contact somebody down there and I'll see what they have, because that might be an option.
Thank you. Superintendent report.
So something to add here, I think a very positive. We do have, my report was August 8th. We had 1,150 students at that time. As of today, we have 1,191 students. So 20 is a growth with pre-K, but then we also have the additional students coming back. So I think it's just good for our school district to be gaining students and maybe stop the reduction of students.
Primarily, where are they going? Elementary, middle
over.
school, all over?
It's kind of spread. So in the high school, we have 401, at the middle school 347, at the elementary 444. So kind of a good mix everywhere.
I'm sending you something. I keep sending them back.
Well, our updated number that was pulled as of today is 419 for elementary, just so you know.
Okay.
Or that's what I have.
Oh, so then you had your pre-K.
With pre-K, it was 419.
What?
Nice.
I think, unless we did our math wrong.
You may want to check that.
Look at you.
I had a bulletin lumen, so, and we took off our Discovery Co-op kids since we don't technically have them in seat.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
But just a positive, we do have increase in students there.
Cool. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Growth. Let's move into unfinished business and get a 25-26 budget update, please.
Yes. So here, still at the beginning of the year, so year-to-date expenditures, we have spent 6% of our budget, and we've received almost 8% of our revenue. So we're on track. Nothing significant is showing up with this year's budget.
Awesome. We don't need a motion on that. Let's move into new business and start our new business with the LJ Hart presentation.
Nice to see you all again. So good news, just an update on the bonds and the tax levies. You all were able to prepay an additional $370,000 to keep your debt service levy at that 56 cent level. That's in addition to last year, you all were in a position and prepaid $1 million that saved $104,800. Prepaying the 370 saves another $23,600. So last year and this year, across those two payments, you will have saved your taxpayers $128,400 in interest expense. I've got booklets that I've passed out that will just go over the new projections based on the updated assessed valuation, with this year being a reassessment year. Inside the booklet, the yellow pages are just the minutes and the resolution and the call notice for prepaying that $370,000 of bonds to set the levy. We'll go inside the booklet. We have our picture of our staff and the map of Missouri. with all of our school districts we work with highlighted in yellow. And then after that, Exhibit A on page number 1, we have your assessed value growth calculations broken out in 3 different sets of calculations. The first set of calculations is your AV growth annually over the past 5 years. You all have averaged 5.01% annual AV growth the past 5 years. And all of our projections, we want to be conservative, so we're just utilizing a rate of 2% each year to be well below the 5% you've actually been. So that's great, but we don't want to rely on it with our projections going forward in case things level off. The second set of calculations goes back to 1996-97 with periodic reassessment, 8.44%. Then going all the way back into the 80s, 1989-90, you've averaged 5.23. So at 2%, I feel that we're very safe. On the next page, Exhibit B, we have the historical adjusted levies by fund going all the way back to 1993-94. And you all are coming up on almost 20 years straight of a total tax levy of $3.31. So you've been at $2.75 in operating and 56 cents going all the way back to 2006, 2007. So that's great, very consistent. The highest the levy ever was $3.56, 1995 to 1998. So that's just historical perspective, but very consistent. And so the next year it will be 20 years. Based on the strength of that assessed valuation growth, we have on page 3 your Missouri State Auditor Form C calculation. So it takes into account that new assessed valuation of $159 million, then looks out at your next 2 years of bond payments in 26 on line 2, then your payments in 27 on line 4. On line 6, it takes into account your cash on hand at the end of the fiscal year. We back out the September payments that are coming up on your bond issue. Line 10 calculates a maximum levy of 36 cents. So based on the strength of your balances and your assessed valuation, that's what indicates in order to get to 56 cents, we need to prepay some additional bonds. On the next page, we have your statement of cash flows that reflects in light green the revenues derived from your 56-cent debt service fund levy. To the left of those green columns, we have your assessed valuation growing at that 2% rate each year. In light blue, we have your payments on your existing bond issues. Then in yellow, we have your balances left over after you make your payments on the bonds. And on the far right-hand side of the page, we have your total bond payments. On the next page, page 5, we have an updated calculation reflecting the impact of a $370,000 prepayment. So previously on line 4, we had a balance of about 590 some odd thousand. By adding the $370,000 prepayment on March 1st, 27, that amount goes up to 955. On line 10, it calculates to a 59-cent levy with a 3-cent rollback to 56 cents. So the next page reflects the remaining payments on those Series 2017 bonds after that prepayment. Then we have the updated statement of cash flows. After you prepay the $370,000 of bonds, so you're in a very healthy position. Next year we would anticipate, after prepaying the $370,000, you'd have about $970,000 of balance in yellow in your upcoming payment. In 27 would be $970,000. Then in 28 you'd only have $439,000, and then we'd have zeros from the last 2 years of prepayments, the $1 million last year, then $370 this year. So we'd be shortening the repayment across those 2 prepayments by 2 full years. The one thing that I will point out, looking at that yellow column, those balances of $970, then they quickly shoot up over to $1 million. With the bonds being completely prepaid, we are running out of debt. So this is last year you were able to prepay and keep your levy at 56 cents. So this just indicates you're in such a strong financial position that we really need to get a bond issue passed in April. Is the #1 time of the year schools like to go. But next year being an even numbered year, August is also a 4/7 majority. So if you were to fall just short in April, you would have 4/7 in August as well. And then the last 2 pages is just an update of that legal bonding capacity. schools can borrow up to 15% of their assessed valuation. So we've got it updated with 159 million, and this is in line with our projections from a year ago. Takes into account the bonds outstanding, which would be $1,350,000, the cash on hand of $970,000. So 15% of your AV legally would be 23 million. What your levy can afford without being increased at 56 cents would only be 12 million. So that would leave you excess bonding capacity of 11.4. In the last page is a $12 million bond issue added. And we can see your balances in yellow are about 1.1 million, approximating the total payments. So it's very healthy. And that's with that 2% AV growth. So if you all continue to grow at 5, those balances in yellow would be much larger than what we're showing. So you can safely borrow with your 56-cent levy up to 12 million. Talking with Dr. Davidson, it may only be the 8 to 9 million that you need. So that would easily be accommodated. 12 is just the high water mark of what can be afforded with that 56-cent levy. So anything below 12 easily works. I know Corey hit on it in his presentation, but we did work with Union, and doing a video has proved really popular with a lot of our school district clients. Goes on YouTube and just gets a uniform message across, and drone videos and pictures of exactly what you're trying to accomplish. And from our firm, my wife is kind of the designated person who goes out and is in the videos and talks about the bond and financing side of it, so she is available if needed.
She's a very nice lady. I visited with her. Very, very intelligent individual. But I'd like to thank you for being here and presenting. And again, I know tonight's a lot of numbers and just kind of look at our finances, but again, how the tax levy plays into place. We're at a healthy 159 million assessed evaluation. So normally schools our size have about a $35 million assessed evaluation. So that's why we're able to operate on the 275 at this time, because we have a very large industrial base that we pull from. So we're in a good place there to be able to operate our school and pay our teachers and staff. But then when we're looking at the bond, which is a different with the debt service, that's essentially taking a loan out to fix our house. So that's money that we don't have sitting there that we would need to ask the community if they would continue a no tax increase of the 56 cents, which again, we're kind of right in line with the right time to run it and get everything there. So I think we're getting everything in place and looking good to be able to successfully do this if the board moves forward in the next few months. Does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Weekman?
And you all are in a great time as far as as far as time goes. Filing deadline's not until January 27th.
Well, thank you for your presentation.
Yes, thank you all so much for your time.
Next up, we have the middle school, summer school presentation. And I would just ask at this time if we can get a motion to table that until next month.
I make that motion.
Thank you.
Second. Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Sherry Schutte, to table the middle school, summer school presentation until the September meeting. All those in favor? Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next, we have, we need to adopt policy 2621. Historically, the policy in front of you, we take a month to review. Our hands are just a little bit tied with the bill that was passed. So, as I'm sure all of you know, we've had a no cell phone policy in place in our district. This is the we're starting the third school year with that policy, or with that rule in our handbook. This is just an actual policy, so we're dotting our i's, crossing our t's. So, if you have
What's the
questions.
difference between this policy and what we currently have?
Yeah, so the Senate passed Senate Bill 68 and was signed in July. It's by short notice. It goes into effect August 28th. So we have to have a policy in place before the 28th. And so this, what we're currently practicing is in line with the policy. The piece that's in your addendum with the draft that's there there were some specific language that we don't have in our handbook that would be a second motion this evening to put that in there as well. So that's if there's any kind of a emergency with that student, with a natural disaster, medical emergency, and then if there's something in a 504 or IEP, or if they're tracking their sugar levels, if they're diabetic, is in there. And then the other is if it's needed for educational purposes, but we're one-to-one with devices, so there's no need to use a cell phone for that. But just that, asking the board to approve that as well, and we'll put that in our handbook, so that way our policy, our handbooks are in line with our policy. But it's really good. This is one of the things we were already kind of ahead of the curve with, and in a good place. So
Thank you. I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Motion by Adam Carnell, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve policy 2621 and add the additional language in our handbooks as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next on the agenda is the Learn Lifesavers presentation by Ian Collins.
Lou.
So you want to give us the background on
Yeah.
this, because you've had a little bit more in
I have.
handbook so far.
So there was a law passed back in 2018 that said that boards need to give organizations that speak about organ donation, eye donation, an opportunity to speak to the board to present information or curriculum that they would like to propose for the board to use. So we have Mr. Collins here with Learn Lifesavers to present, and he does have up to 30 minutes if he'd like to speak that long per law for the statute. So kind of turn it over to Mr. Collins here.
So I won't speak that long. So I actually work for the Department of Health and Senior Services in the Organ and Tissue Donor Program, and I'm here representing the Learn Lifesavers program, which is out of Kansas City, Kansas, Kim Harbor. So the purpose of the program is high school students, when they go to get their learning permits or their driver's licenses, they're asked if they want to be organ donors. We want to make sure that they have the information to make an informed decision. It's unbiased, it's a free program, it's teacher-led, it's about 30 minutes. But again, the value of that is we want them to understand what they're answering, and they make that decision on their own. We're not forcing and saying we want you to be an organ donor. We just want them to have the information when they're asked that question. So basically, that's what the program is.
When you said the teachers would teach it, it's about a 30-minute.
It's about a 30-minute.
Just one time 30 minutes?
Just one time 30 minutes, yeah. So it's kind of developed for any kind of classroom environment. So it doesn't matter what class. Health classes do it a lot of, debate classes do it as well. They'll have one side argue for donation, and the other side will be against donation.
Sure, you're more good.
So if anyone has questions, feel free to ask. So as the board adopts curriculum, it's your prerogative if you want to use it or not use it. So that would be for you to decide this evening.
Yeah, the statements are great. And DESE helped develop this program as well, so you're aware. So DESE backs it.
Anyone else have
There's many school boards that are not in favor of it. Why?
There's very few, it's a lot of smaller school boards and smaller districts that want the family to make that decision, and the students talk to the families about that. But we've learned that when students are given that education, they're actually going to the parents, and then the parents are kind of having that conversation as well, saying, I want to be a donor, I don't want to be a donor, and this is why. And again, it's not forcing people, and it's not, we want you to register. This is the question, and this is why you're asked, and here's the information, so you can make the decision on yes or no. It's for you. It's a personal decision.
We have other things in place where we have to sign permission slips, right? For our children, obviously, you know my story. I have strong opinions on making informed decisions when it comes to organ donations, if you know. But I would think that would maybe potentially bridge that gap with allowing mean, is that something, we've done that with other things. I know I've signed permission slips for the especially like middle school age to participate in certain topics and conversations. Is that something that we could do for something like
So
this?
some
or-
schools do that. So
Yeah.
it's one of those classes that if students don't want to participate, they don't have to. And if the parents don't want the students to participate, they don't have to.
But if you did adopt it, we would send it out for them to sign to participate, so that is a parent choice if they choose to.
Dr. Davidson, have you presented this to the staff at all?
I have not.
Okay.
So there are multiple organizations that do this, and this organization is the one that has contacted me to present to the board this evening, so.
And most boards most school boards have adopted it. I'm sure Kim probably sent you a list of the schools and the districts that have said yes, so.
Curious, during these types of discussions, is it pamphlets or that are handed out to students, or is it just spoken?
It's kind of an online program as well. Honestly, I've not done it. I've not gone through the program, but it's fairly straightforward and simple. And they can actually do you can have somebody come in from the organization to do an in-class presentation instead of like your staff leading it. But again, it's a great thing because anybody that's getting a permit or a license by law in the state of Missouri is asked that question. It's a statute, they have to be asked. So we just want students to understand what they're being asked and what it means.
So, but you've not seen this curriculum? You've not like gone through it?
I've not gone through it because I'm not an educator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I believe you were also sent links to go through that curriculum as well. So you
I
can
guess I
review
was
it.
just, I'll have my.
Yeah, this is not my normal role, so.
Yeah, it would be hard for me to get up and try to sell something to somebody if I hadn't actually gone through it myself.
Yeah.
So.
Can we make a motion to table this item and give me some time to digest it a little bit more and maybe
Could we get some more information?
Yeah.
Like the pamphlets or whatever,
Yeah.
or even see
we
the
do that?
program itself?
So
Is that
I
something we can do?
shared with the board what I was sent, so it's
Yeah.
in your packet, so
Yeah, I
that's
know.
the extent of
Okay.
what I
And
know
that's
about it.
that's
Okay.
what would be sent out
Okay.
normally
So
from the
I just wondered if
I think
organization.
that's pretty minimal. So I don't know if there's, because it's probably proprietary or kind of
It's-
copyrighted
yeah.
information, so I don't know if they want to send their full on.
Right. I just don't feel comfortable making a motion tonight. Adopting it. I would think I just need to think about it. Can I make a motion to table this topic?
Make whatever motion you want.
You can make
I'm making that motion to table this until next month. We'll revisit it.
Motion by Tammy Palmer, seconded by Caitlin Mace, to table this until you have more time to research this program, and we'll bring it back to the board in September.
Great motion.
Awesome.
All those
Good
in
job.
favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
You can.
6 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time
Thank you
tonight.
for your time. Have a good evening.
You as well.
You too.
Okay, next up is Board of Education proposed agenda items. There are none. Resident agenda items, there are none. Last item for open session is we need to approve our next meeting.
I'm sure.
Asking to not meet potentially on a Thursday during the month of September. Right, Roger?
Yes. That's right. We talked about September, what did we say? 24th or 17th? Wednesday.
Or Tuesday. Looks like there's
Wednesdays are-
nothing on the
Wednesdays
23rd.
are not good for me.
Good for us
How
if we
about
don't
a
have school
Tuesday?
activities.
There's nothing on September 23rd, like school calendar wise. There's not, there's no events.
I don't have any high school down there that we use.
But it's
It's both.
the 23rd.
And then there's garage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's gone. Anybody participate?
We have, yes, we do.
I'm sure you will.
Thank you very much. Okay, 23rd September, good.
Is that a
good.
motion?
I'm making it right now.
Second.
Good job over there.
Motion by Roger Bridgman.
Stuff it.
Seconded by
Hey,
Tammy
you worked,
Palmer.
I kept her busy.
To
Thank
schedule
you.
a
I know
regular
you might-
September board meeting on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025 at 6 PM with closed session to follow. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you. Next, we need a motion to go into closed session after a 10-minute recess.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Caitlin Mace, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to go into closed session in accordance with the provisions of section 610.021, subsection 3 and 13 of the revised statutes of Missouri in order to discuss personnel after a 10-minute recess. Roger?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
Caitlin?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Chris is absent. Jennifer?
Yes.
6 yes, 1 absent.
Ta-da. All right.